An essential ingredient for any good gardener is soil. Farmers, gardeners, it's also, for most farmers, it's a pretty big expense. This is not quite soil yet, but it's close. What this is the green plant matter that's been grown out here, dried leaves that have been harvested, mixed with byproducts of food production. This is what is used to grow mushrooms, edible mushrooms in the city. Farms can look like a lot of different things, but all farms have waste products and byproducts that can be utilized to drop our expenses. So if we don't have to buy the soil, but we create the soil, then we're gonna get a lot of biomass. If you take a look at this pile here, and it also has the plant matter from the farm and the leaves that come from the area. This has been piled up for a good amount of time, and look, it's still hot, still hot. So the way we're gonna keep this temperature going is we're gonna look at the green matter that comes from our garden as we're transitioning seasons. All of this here on the ground and in the wheelbarrow comes from the garden. So this green material, we're gonna relayer. We're essentially moving this compost pile to this area. We're halfway through the process, and we start to layer in the new green material so that it can keep the heat going, and we're aerating the pile by moving the pile. So what we're making is a circle. We're making a closed loop system. And what that means is every farm, even urban farms, they have waste byproducts and waste streams. Every household has waste streams. They also need inputs. So soil is a major input. Look at this pile here. This pile is not quite soil, but it's close. You see the heat coming off of it. What this means here is that this is the byproduct that come from this area. So it's the green plant material from this farm. It is the leaves that are collected in this neighborhood, and it is the inputs or the growing medium for mushroom cultivation inside of the city of Atlanta. This is the substrate that we use to grow oysters, shiitake, and lion's mane. It's sawdust, it's grains, all mixed in together. And so we have that byproduct to work with. And we've been mixing it in here with plant material, leaves, green and brown, and food scraps. Now, to keep the heat going, we need to aerate it, which essentially means moving it. We're gonna move it from this site to this site that's covered. We've already moved half of it, and now we're adding in the green material that comes from the garden. Does your garden have green material? When you're changing seasons, of course it does. So this is the green material that comes from the garden as we're changing seasons. We mix it right on top, and then we'll get the rest of this pile and move it on top of this green matter. We'll empty the wheelbarrow full of green matter, and this way we're getting rid of some invasive weeds, getting rid of all their seeds by putting them inside of a pile that's very warm, and just layering this warm organic matter right on top. That brings over the microbes, that brings over the healthy bacteria. We already know we have different active fungi and mycelial networks. You can see it in there. You see the mycelial networks. Then, when we do that, one of the other things that is a byproduct of a healthy farm is ashes. So that's the ashes. That's ashes from burning old tree prunings, different kind of paper packaging material. And we'll take this ashes and sprinkle it on the pile as well. It's basically like we're making a soil cake, and you're liberal with your material. You add it in. You add it in, you add it right on top, and the microbes will migrate up and down the pile and break down all the organic material, releasing all that heat, balancing the pH. And in 2 months, we'll dig into this, we'll sift it. It will be amazing soil. Soil that, if it's sifted nicely, can be used in the greenhouse. Soil that can be used for planting fruit trees. Soil that can be used for transplanting. Soil that can be used for filling raised beds. That cuts down an expense for us. We don't have to buy the compost and the soil. It also eliminates a waste stream. As you can see, every house has a lot of waste streams. Every homestead, every farm has a lot of waste streams. And it develops a relationship with a mushroom cultivator where we get mushrooms and we also get organic material that is charged with life to put into our piles and help create our soil. If you like this, you know, smash the like button. YouTube loves it. Grow where you are.